They thought she was just another face in the crowd, a black woman, walking into court alone. No lawyer, no entourage, just quiet eyes and steady hands in a navy blouse. Judge Merrick leaned back in his chair. That smug little grin, like he'd already made up his mind. Representing yourself, bold choice, for someone who laid hands on an officer. The gallery chuckled. The bailiff tightened his grip on the cuffs like he was holding a warning. And still, she didn't flinch. Her name was Naomie Pierce. And what nobody in that courtroom knew, not the judge, not the DA, not even the cop sitting pretty behind the prosecution table, was that Naomie wasn't there to defend herself. She was there to investigate them. Deputy Director of Internal Affairs. Federal Bureau of Investigation. Yeah. That part came later, but let me back up a sec. They played the tape. Surveillance from the gas station where it all supposedly happened. The DA, a pit bull in heels named Brenda Lang, painted Naomie like a threat, loud, combative, reaching for who knows what. And the tape, well, it glitched right at the critical frame. The moment where Naomie hit the ground, and Officer Trey Huxley feared for his life. Convenient, right? Naomie didn't yell, didn't beg. She just looked at the jury and said, "What they're not showing you matters more than what they are." That was the first time the room shifted just a bit. You could feel it, like somebody cracked open a window in a place that's been sealed tight for too long. Then there's Elias Cooper, an old janitor, who's been cleaning that courthouse longer than most of those lawyers have been alive. He watched from the back row, hat low over his eyes. But you could see it, he knew her. Years ago. She was just a silent girl in the front row of another trial that buried another black life without a trace. Now, she was back. When the judge refused to let Naomie submit the full raw footage, when he called her delusional, she took off her blazer, slow and deliberate, and rolled up her sleeves. Bruises, deep and yellowing, climbing her arms like vines. The kind you don't get from resisting, the kind you get when somebody pins you down and pretends the law is on their side. Gasps. Murmurs. Brenda Lang tried to wave it off, said it wasn't relevant. Naomie didn't argue. She just placed a sealed file in front of the clerk. 11 years of misconduct complaints against Officer Huxley, internal reports, buried evidence. A whole damn pattern. The judge barked, ordered her to sit. She didn't. Instead, she called one name, calm and quiet Malik Protocol. Execute. Nobody in the room knew what it meant, but the tension snapped like a live wire. Less than a minute later, the back doors flew open. Federal agents, real ones, subpoenas, body cams, voices raised but not Naomie's. Hers stayed low, sharp as glass. "I'm not just the accused," she said, stepping forward, pulling a badge from her file like it was nothing. "I'm the one investigating all of you." And then the real footage played. Not the doctored junk, the real tape, Huxley grabbing her, slamming her, while the judge and DA's voices bled through from another meeting. "She knows too much. Delete the feed. Make her disappear." Elias stood up, pulled a crumpled note from his coat, a witness statement he kept hidden from a trial 30 years ago. "I stayed quiet then," he said, eyes locked on the judge. "But I'm not bearing another life." The room, it broke open. Sobs, shouting, phones filming everything. Naomie didn't need to raise her voice. She just said, "Justice doesn't whisper anymore, it watches. And now, so do you." Outside, news vans flooded the street. Protesters held signs with her name. A mural showed up downtown a week later, Naomie's bruised arms raised in defiance, with the words, "Silence doesn't mean surrender." But she didn't stick around for the applause. She went back to D.C., back to her desk, drafting new protocols so the next black woman wouldn't have to take off her blazer just to prove she wasn't lying. And here's the part that'll stick with you when Elias found her one last time. He didn't say much. Just took us decades to find our voice. You made sure they had to hear it. So what do you think when the justice system gets exposed in broad daylight? Does it change or does it just hide better? Drop your thoughts in the comments because truth doesn't echo unless someone's listening.